I think one thing that people are really interested in, because they're so much concerned with the day itself, of course, I think a great place to start would be for me to know a little bit about how the day has changed compared to where we were before September.
Okay, I think the most important thing for people to remember is that as inspectors are charged with finding out what it's like to be a child, with this childminder, with this day nursery and this preschool, and we do a whole range of inspection activities in order to gather valid and reliable evidence to answer that question. And one of the biggest things that we've moved away from is that focus on data and looking at, paperwork in terms of that whole industry that we know had developed around assessment data.
And of course, one of those things that on the day is now happening is the learning walk, which is a chance for people to kind of really step out their pedagogical stall. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about that and why you've had that in place and how it's going.
So we've put a greater emphasis on the learning walk in the new inspection framework, and the learning walk's an opportunity for leaders and managers to explain to inspectors their rationale for their EYFS curriculum and how they set out their early years provision. So how they decide what it is that their children in their setting need to learn and why, and that's what we're interested in.
And it's been a big focus of the change. I mean, we've had this new intent, implementation, impact framework, and with that, it's this increased approach on pedagogy, curriculum, and how has that been received, this kind of opportunity for leaders to feel like they are enabled to kind of stamp their authority more on their own setting and on the inspection?
Okay, and be part of that kind of that inspection journey, as it were, and explain what it is that they do and why. And it's that quality of education judgment that's also important. That substance of education that we put at the heart of the curriculum, at the heart of the framework, and really having that opportunity for leaders to be able to say what their intent is, how they decide the content of their curriculum, then the implementation in terms of how they deliver that through teaching, their pedagogy, and then how they evaluate the impact. So we look at intent, implementation and impact as a whole. So we don't separate out those things. So we're not making individual judgments about intent, implementation and impact.